Hello and namaste. You're watching the virtual class of grade 9 English. Today we are in Unit 5. In Unit 5 we'll be doing some exercises from grammar section. So today's topic is criticizing, and we'll be doing some structures, and we'll be using and producing some sentences based on those structures given. And those structures are used for criticizing. Now, let me show you on the screen. So here is think and act section in the beginning, and this is from your book. In the debate, just you can read it. In the debate, above different people criticize others by using should or should not. Read the debate again and write down the sentences with should or should not. Example is given. So what we are talking about is, in the beginning you did a reading comparison, right? So in that reading section, you did a debate. There are different students, different people, giving their logic and criticizing each other. So they think they think that they are right, and they are criticizing others. They are giving their opinions, expressing their opinions, and while expressing their own opinions and criticizing others, they have used structures like should or should not, using that should or should not plus verb. Just for example, you can say you should learn to be satisfied. This is very in the very beginning. Azmera has said it. You should learn to be satisfied. And now our duty here is to find out those sentences that contain these structures like should or should not plus main verb. Did you understand? Okay. In the text, you can find out some other, like I have just picked up some sentences. You can just do it from your textbook. That's on page number 54 and 55. So we should strive for success. In Uttar section, or while reading Uttar's part, you just find this sentence. We should strive for success. Strive means we should try, or we should long for success. We should strive for success. And there is another sentence like one should always have self-satisfaction. It is what Chandra said. Our minds should always be striving for new inventions. This is Uttar's opinion. And next one is self-satisfaction and progress should go hand in hand. That is what Beam said, right? Now lastly again, the same sentence I have repeated here. You should learn to be satisfied with what we have. That is what Azmera said. So different people here they hold different opinions. And they criticize others' opinions by using what structure? Did you find the structure there? That is using should or should not. Did you find that? So find out those sentences from the textbook. That's on you. So now what I'm going to do here is, I'm talking about this one. Let me show you this chart paper here. Please, for your practice, let me show you these sentences. Please, before we begin, let's study these examples. And we'll be further doing some exercises from number A and number B. Maybe we'll be writing dialogues, similar dialogues like this. So read this dialogue first. Study the following dialogue. Sylvia says, I don't seem to be able to lose weight. And Gauri says, it's your own fault. You should do some physical exercise in the morning. You shouldn't sleep so much. Here, this is one dialogue, and there is another dialogue also. We'll come to the second dialogue later. Let's have a look at the first dialogue here. What Sylvia says. Sylvia expresses her problem. And what is her problem? This is a situation, this is the problem she has. Sylvia says, I don't seem to be able to lose my weight. It means she is getting fatter, or getting, weight. Weight is her problem, and she wants to lose it, but she's not able. So what Gauri says that time, she just Gauri criticizes like this. It's your own fault. Fault is here mistake. It's your own fault, it's your own mistake. You should do some physical exercise. While criticizing others, using should plus main verb sounds like giving advice also. Are you clear? It's like advice as well, but it is a way of criticizing. Because here, Sylvia has got problem, and Gauri says, it's your fault, it's your mistake. It means when she says mistake, she's just trying to criticize, right? You should do some physical exercise. Should plus main verb. Just get focused on this. Some physical exercise in the morning. You should not sleep so much. Both way, negative and positive. You should not, look at this, negative sentence, should not sleep so much. This is one suggestion as well, or it is a way of criticizing. Now let's have a look at the second, and we'll be comparing these two examples later. Here Rajbar says, I got only third division in the final examination. I got only third division in the final examination. This is what? This is the problem of Rajbar. And Girdhari Lal, okay, very unique name. Girdhari Lal says, you should have practiced more. When Rajbar says he only got third division in the examination, final examination, Girdhari Lal says, you should have practiced more. It means what? It means Girdhari Lal did not practice, right? Are you clear about this? You should have practiced more means Girdhari Lal did not practice, and that's why he only got third division in the final examination. Here, one more sentence comes. You should not have wasted your time. You should not have wasted your time. Did you notice the structure? A little bit difference in the structure here compared to the first one. In the first sentence or in the first dialogue, Gauri criticizes Sylvia by using what? By using should plus verb 1, that is main verb, and here should not plus main verb, right? So in the second dialogue, Rajbar says the problem, and Girdhari Lal says you should have practiced. Should have plus past participle. That's what we commonly call it verb 3. Should have plus past participle. You should not have wasted. See, again past participle. So should have plus verb 3 and should not have plus verb 3. And this is the structural difference. Now, did you notice what the meaning or what kind of difference in meaning there? See, in the first sentence, in the first dialogue, let me tell it, Sylvia is just expressing her problem, and then Gauri, this is the problem at present, and this is the regular problem, and Gauri just gives a kind of criticism. She criticizes using should or should not. You should do this or should not do this, in almost in the form of an advice. It's a kind of suggestion, right? Now, in the second, Rajbar is not telling the regular problem or the problem that's ongoing. It's just the problem that happened, that's already passed, that's already gone. So it's already over. That's why look at this structure. It is in the past tense, got, but here don't seem to be able. It's present, right? So present and past. It's already gone. It has already happened, and that's why criticizing at the time, we criticize in a different way, using different structures like this, because it's already done, it's already gone, and that's why Girdhari Lal says you should have practiced, because you didn't practice, and that's why you got third division. So you should have practiced. This is almost in the form of expressing regrets. Do you know regrets? In equivalent Nepali word, we call it paschatap, or it is a way of telling, something has already happened, something wrong has gone, something wrong has happened, and that time you just, what do? You just repent, you just regret, and it is also a way of criticizing. Remember, should have plus verb 3, that means past participle, and should not have plus verb 3. After starting these two examples, I think you're clear about what we are going to do. We are going to do the exercise on your, okay, here is what we have. Yes, let's have a look on the screen. In number A, we have these sentences. These are just the situational sentences. We have got some problems. Different people have different problems here. Develop similar short dialogues for the following situations. Okay, there are sentences like this. What do you have? The first one is A always fails his exam. A always fails his exam. Second one, B can't sleep well at night. This is another problem. He can't sleep well. Yes? Next, third one, she never gets good marks in English. It means she gets poor marks in English. And number 4, D feels very hungry. This is another problem D has. And number 5, E is always late for school. Don't you think this is another problem? Okay, these different people have different problems. Now what we are supposed to do is, we are supposed to develop a dialogue like this. Because these problems are in present tense. And we are criticizing or giving some suggestions, and at the same time we are criticizing using should or should not plus main verb. Okay, let me try one. Here, let me choose the questions randomly. We have 5 questions there. Maybe we won't have time to finish or to do all of them. And that's why randomly I choose this one. Which one is it? Okay, this is the first one. A always fails his exam. A always fails his exam. And we are supposed to develop a dialogue like this. Okay? We will have this one right here. Okay. Maybe it is not necessary right now, but A fails his exam. Now let me write one. A says, how does A say? A says, I always, because it is the problem of A. Now we are developing the dialogue. And what A says? A says I for himself, right? So we do I always fail my exam. Can you see it? I always fail my exam. That is what A says. Now what B says? B says, like this. Maybe it's your own fault. It is not necessary to say it's your own fault all the times. You can develop the sentence as you like, as you feel like writing. Now, just don't forget to use this should plus verb 1 or should not plus main verb, right? What is your suggestion? What is your criticism? It's your mistake. You can say it's your mistake. It's your fault. Let me write fault. You should study hard from the very beginning. Right? Can you see it? It's your fault. It's your own fault. You should study hard from the very beginning. It means that he doesn't study from the very beginning, or he is not, focused on his study, or maybe his preparation is not exam oriented, or maybe like that. So you can just develop. It's just one idea. It is not that this is the final idea. This is the final answer. You just can give some, other alternative ideas as well. You can have multiple. You are there, so many of you heads there. You have so many heads, so many ideas. Just think of your own choice, your own idea here, and develop a sentence like this. Or you can just make one negative also. You should not spend time watching TV and wondering about. Don't you think? This is how we write. Should not plus main verb. You should not spend time watching TV. It means he has the habit of watching TV all the times and he doesn't study his books. And what he says, spend time watching TV and wondering about. Wondering about, just wondering or going out with friends, spending time outside and never studying books. That's how we give kind of suggestion and at the same time criticize. Let me come to another question. That is the second question. Let me choose. This is, okay, second question again. This is the problem. Read it. B can't sleep well at night. B can't sleep well at night. That is the problem. And how you develop the sentence? You just do like this. Now, in place of A, okay, let me erase it first. B says, I can't, right? I can't sleep well at night. I can sleep well at night. This is the situation he expresses. Now, suppose she or somebody, you can give the name also. She says, you should do some, okay, physical exercises. Why physical exercises? Because when you do a lot of physical exercises, you feel tired and you feel sleepy, or you can sleep well. That may be one idea. Or you can just give another idea like you should have sleeping tablets. But that's not a very good idea, right? You can have sleeping tablet, because if you are not able to sleep well, that's what you have to do. So you should do some physical exercises. Then, negative one. You should not, okay. Another idea is, you should not do what? You should not, okay, let me think one idea here. You should not sleep because B cannot sleep well. You should not watch horror movies. Let me tell you one thing. Watch horror movies. It is not only the idea, but it can be one. Because it says you should not watch horror movies. Why B is not able to sleep? It may be that he watches horror movies before going to bed, and maybe because of that, he remembers those scenes, terrible scenes, or say very dangerous kind of scenes, horrible scenes, and then he cannot sleep. So there can be some other ideas. So you can just do it. Now let me take you to another. That is in number B. I think there are some other questions like this in number A. C never gets good marks in English. What suggestion should you give for C? She says, like this. She says, I never get good marks in English. And you say, you should study hard in English, or you should ask your teacher, or you should ask your friends, and or you should live hard in English, or you should join tuition classes, or like that, you can have multiple ideas for this. D feels very hungry. That time you can give another one criticism, like D feels very hungry, and that time you can just give structure, using the same structure you can give advice also, and better said criticize. You should criticize. You should not eat only light food, or you should have heavy, you should take your lunch or dinner in right time. So you can just express like that. And number 5 is there. He is always late for school. For this, you just can do. You should get up early in the morning. You can just say, like, you should get up early in the morning, or you should not do what? You should not wonder about, or you should not go to bed late in the evening. That also can be another idea, right? So you can do these questions yourself. Understood? Okay. Now here comes number B. Look at the situations below and say what the person should have or should not have done. See? This time, let's get focused on this structure. Should have or should not have plus past participle. That is verb 3. Okay? Number 1. What is there in number 1? Number 1, the baby picked up the burning candle. Mother wasn't watching the baby. The baby's hand was burnt. Number 2, Palishka closed her eyes and ran down the steps. She fell down and sprained her leg. And number 3, Chirikaji, okay, this is Chirikaji. Chirikaji drove very fast. He collided with a stationary truck. Number 4, Tembashiri lost his glove. His hand was frostbitten. Number 5, Ruhi switched on the light with a wet hand. She got bad shock. So, for this, because all these sentences, did you notice that all these sentences are in the past form, right? Drove, closed, picked up, lost, switched on. Don't you think this is similar to this? The last one, got only third division in the past tense, right? And using, while if past tense is used there to express the problem, then use this structure. Should have plus past participle, because it's already done and there is nothing more than regretting. And so by giving the feeling of regrets, we have to criticize somebody. You should have done that. That's how we criticize others, right? So let me choose one question randomly here. What comes here? Okay, this is question number 1. Look at this first sentence. The baby picked up the burning candle. Mother wasn't watching the baby. The baby's hand was burned. Okay. Now this is the problem. And how we do? We are not writing dialogue here. You can do it in the dialogue form also. But simply the instruction says it's not necessary to write in the dialogue form. It just says look at the situation below and say what the person should have or should not have done, right? So that's why we're just simply writing criticisms only, criticizing only. We're criticizing like this. What is the mistake of the mother here? Baby picked up the burning candle. The candle was burning that time. He just tossed the candle and got burnt, right? Mother was not watching the baby. So this time, what do? The mother should have what? Should have been watching the baby, right? Don't you think this is one of the criticisms? The mother should have been watching the baby. Should have been watching, but she didn't do it. And that's why, what happened? That's why the baby's hand was burnt. Had polio. This is what we do. Another criticism, is the baby, okay, you can just give negative one also, right? You can just make negative, like the mother should not have, okay, she should not have left the baby near the burning candle. Don't you think this is another mistake of this mother? She should not have left the baby near the burning candle. But she left the baby, and so the baby mistakenly touched the burning candle, and it got its hand burnt, right? There can be some others. Okay, there are some five, okay, almost 5 sentences. Let me choose another question randomly, and just give you the answer, right? What is it? This is Chirikaji drove very fast. He collided with a stationary truck. Stationary means stationary, not moving. That is still, not moving. So a parked vehicle, that is stationary. So the truck is not moving here. Chirikaji drove very fast, and that's why he collided what? He collided with a truck. This time, what is the mistake? The mistake is that he should not have driven very fast, right? He should not have, remember the structure. He should not have driven very fast. So you can write like that. And you can make negative also. Should not have, that's already negative, right? Now positive sentence also can be made, like Chirikaji should have been driving very carefully, or Chirikaji should have been driving slowly and carefully. Did you get the idea? Okay, dear students, we have some other questions like next is there, number 4 is there, Tembachiri lost his glove. Okay, Tembachiri lost his glove, his hand was frostbitten. This is the problem. This is one situation. And what do you have to give? You have to give, you have to criticize, not give in fact. So you have to criticize, he should have, maybe he should have taken some extra gloves, isn't it? Or he should have put on the gloves carefully, or something like that. So give ideas, whatever you have, because this is not the final answer. You can make your ideas, you can develop your sentences yourself using the given structures. Should have plus verb 3 and should not have plus verb 3. I think you can do other exercises yourself, right? In number 5, Ruhi switched on the light with a wet hand. She got a bad shock, and you can simply say she should not have touched the light with a wet hand, like that. You can simply do this. Now we have another one. Moving on to next, put into practice. This is, just have a look on the screen. Put into practice. This is again from your textbook. 1. Take any one of the topics, skill or knowledge, wealth or wisdom, peace or development, for debate, and ask for the opinion of any 2 of your friends. Tell them how you feel about it and how you're different from them. You can use, and there is, okay, is of the opinion, ... beliefs, ... things, ... supports. So here there are different topics for debate competition, right? Simply you can say skill or knowledge. Which one is better? Just you have to give your opinion, whether skill is must or knowledge is a must. Which one is great, or which one is more important, knowledge or skill? Some people might think skill is more important. Some people might think knowledge is more important. But as a student, you should give, or you should have the ideas of how to give arguments and counter arguments yourself. You should be prepared for both. Sometimes you have to say skill is more important. Just you have to give logic. And sometimes you have to say knowledge is more important. And at that time, just give logic, argument. But don't forget to criticize others. The question already says you need to ask your friends. Just ask your friends about their opinions regarding this topic, and then collect their ideas and just give your own ideas or your opinion and compare how you are different from them. Simply says like this: suppose in your class there is one boy named Ram, and that time you just simply say Ram is of the opinion that skill is more important, but I don't think so. You should blah blah blah, or you should not blah blah. Just give your logic, right? Don't forget to use the structures we did it here. So most importantly, what you have to do is you have to use these structures: should or should not plus verb, that is verb 1, infinitive form, and should have or should not have plus verb 3, that is past participle. Just keep these structures in mind and then give your logic. What somebody believes, suppose Rohan believes, or suppose Sabina thinks, or he supports, she supports, but I think, just give the way, the structures like this, okay? Now we have another question for number 2. Think of the conditions you are not satisfied with your school or in the locality. Find out the responsible persons for the same and criticize them. Use should or should not plus be is there, be verb, or should have, should not have plus been. Be and been, they are just optional. They may not come all the times in the sentences, but wherever necessary, you can just use. Be is like, should be form, been plus verb for if there is verb for, or sometimes without, verb for also you can just use it wherever necessary. Examples are given there. You are not satisfied with the school or maybe with the people in your locality, in your neighborhood. Locality is in your village, in your town. You don't like some behaviors of people, and that time you have to criticize what they should have done or what they should not have done, or what they should do or what they should not do, right? Just like the beginning is already there on your screen. People should not be throwing plastic bags everywhere. Should not be throwing. This is be. This is structure, right? Should not be. People should not be throwing plastic bags everywhere. It means this is what the writer does not like. Next one, they should have learned about the adverse effects of plastic, because people in the neighborhood throw plastics everywhere. This is almost common habits in almost all the parts of the world. And next one, you can just talk about alcoholism. People should not drink alcohol and come home late in the evening. Like, just give ideas, other ideas, what you don't like about your village or village people's behavior, right? Just give away the structure like this. Should have, should not have. Should have plus verb 3, should not have plus verb 3. Don't forget to do this. You can just give other random ideas, different ideas, just like some people fight in the village. Maybe you don't like that. And what you should do? Just say, people should not fight in the class. Or you can just say, if suppose something wrong has already happened in your village, that time you just use the second structure given here. Should have plus verb 3. They should have done this, or they should not have done that. Just give the idea like that. You don't like many things in your school also. Maybe you don't like some behavior of the people, behavior of the teachers, or maybe there are some problems in the school. That time you need to criticize. You should do this. Just like there should be, your library should be managed well, should be managed well. Suppose maybe at your school, the school library is not well managed. That time you need to give kind of criticism like this, right? So there are many things you don't like, or maybe many things you like. So don't forget to express those things using the structures given: should plus verb 1, should or should not, and should have plus verb 3, or should not have plus verb 3. So, dear students, please do these exercises or try your best to do these exercises yourself. I tried my best to give some examples from the textbook, probably. And so, hope that today's class has become somehow meaningful for you. And please practice yourself and, express your ideas, how you criticize others, right? So thank you very much for watching us. Have a wonderful time ahead. Just enjoy your life. Feel fresh, feel relaxed, but don't forget to study. Okay? Take care. Namaste.